Palma. Oh, that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. Janelle Fuentes. Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Valoria is open. 3-pointer. Goodness!
Face a jumper by Valenzuela.
Caballero has tied.
Now it gets started also. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
We continue our coverage here at the Olivares College Gymnasium in Parañaque City. Earlier, we saw Batangas City winning over Sarangani in our first game. And now it's time for the second game of our triple header. Diego Jario will need to step up in the absence of LJ Gonzalez today. And the Quezon Huskers will take on Lester Alvarez, who had a good game in that loss contra Rizal. The Val City Magic trying to regain their form in this matchup. The Quezon Huskers taking on Val City Magic here in the second game of our Tuesday triple header. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. This is the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanyan at courtside. We have Miss Lyra Punsalan. Javi, etong Quezon, they suffered a setback in their last game. So meron pa silang mga kailangan ayusin as they aspire for a championship this season.
Well, especially in that game against Pampanga, which we will talk about more later on, but particularly here for this, in terms of discussion, they need to work on their finishing kick. When they are entailed in a battle that figures closely towards the latter part of the match, nahihirapan sila na makatapos.
And of course, you're watching us live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. And binanggit mo, Javi, no, yung kailangan ng Quezon Huskers to have that strong finishing kick in their games. At dito nasubukan sila dito sa Pampanga Giantlanders. This was the rematch of last year's national finals. Pampanga actually had a big first two quarters here, but Renz Alcoriza happened, especially in that third. Although Quezon had their chances here in the fourth quarter, but just couldn't get the job done here.
Yeah, aside from Alcoriza, Archie Concepcion and Larry Muyang helped keep Quezon at bay in this game. It was more of the timeliness of the shots of Pampanga. Everything was actually almost very close in this game, except for the rebounds and points in the paint, where Pampanga was well ahead of the Huskers sa laro na to. A +8 in terms of the rebounding and also a +12 in terms of points in the paint. Doon sila nadali ng Pampanga. If Quezon was able to get those boards in those crucial moments in the fourth quarter, they would have had more opportunities to chop away at the deficit and get that lead in that game in the fourth period.
Quezon 8-2, yung isang pagkatalo nila nangyari earlier in the season against the Pasay Voyagers. Now, we go to the Val City Magic na na-cover natin itong last game nila, Javi, against Rizal. Actually, this was a tight contest in the first two quarters, but Rizal able to pull through in the third behind that hot shooting, and Val City hindi na naka-recover dito.
They were outscored 37-19 in that third quarter and entered the fourth period down by 20 points, 53-73, a deficit that they were not able to recover from. If you look at the numbers here, they allowed Rizal 93 attempts in that game, almost 100 attempts from the field, and were dominated on the glass, -13 there. Those offensive rebounds gave way to a lot of second chance opportunities for the Golden Coolers. They have to work double time, especially that they are undermanned going into their next few games.
Alright, it's Quezon versus Val City Magic. Let's turn you over to Miguel Pere as he introduces the starting lineups.
Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's meet the starters, beginning with the Quezon Huskers. Starting at forward number 8, Christian Pagaran. Also at forward number 5, Simon Sandagon. Coming in at center number 19, JP Sarao. One guard number 6, Diego Dario. And a two guard number 2, Judel Fuentes. The head coach for the Quezon Huskers is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Richie Tixon, Ed De La Torre, Luis Solasco, Jonathan De Guzman, Nash Rosella, Bernard De Guia, and Jerry Teng. Team manager is Attorney Don Capunan. Team owners, Governor Dr. Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Here comes the starting five for Val City Magic. Starting at forward number 13, JR Ongteco. Also at forward number 39, Kobe Monje. Starting at center, number 26, JR Alabanza. Guard number 24, JJ Gesalem. And the other guard, number 3, John Formento. The head coach for Val City is Raymond Valenzuela. Assistant coaches, Matthew Sia, Javen Ledesma, Errol Francisco, and Ian De La Torre. Assistant team managers, JB Garcia. Team representative is Brian Calantok.
Starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Quezon versus Val City. The Huskers start off with Diego Dario, Fidel Fuentes, JP Sarao, Simon Sandagon, and Christian Pagaran. Val City with Jan Formento, JJ Hesalem, JR Alabanza, Kobe Monje, and JR Ongteco. Kobe Monje did not play in their last game against Rizal. He was sorely missed, especially when the Golden Coolers made their run in the second half. But he is back and ready to go. And for Quezon naman, they're trying to bounce back without the services today of LJ Gonzalez.
But we know the Huskers will have that position filled up with different guards here, especially Diego Dario returning here para sa Quezon.
Yeah. Del Fuentes as well. That's a lethal backcourt. Diego Dario, Judel Fuentes. But JP Sarao quietly has been really impressive for the Huskers this season.
He really fits well into the system of Coach Eric Gonzalez. A very versatile big who could score on multiple levels. He has extended his range to behind the three-point line, and that's why he's been used so much by Coach Eric this season in different opportunities. And he's also a very dependent defender.
2 for 2 at the line. Oh, a steal. Sandagon gets it to Pagaran. Back to Simon. Floats one up and in over the outstretched arms of JR Alabanza.
This is where Valenzuela has to be careful. They can't allow themselves to give up turnovers or else Quezon will blow them out right away.
Oh, Sarao unable to control the rebound. Val City will get it back.
And it's going to be a tall task for Val City to avoid that kind of scenario in this game because they only have a few guards in their roster, especially for this game. It's only Formento and Lester Alvarez, the two legit point guards on this team tonight for Valenzuela City.
Still scoreless are the Magic. Minute gone by. JP Sarao. No, it's an offensive foul.
Got warding off JR Alabanza there.
Picking him up. Let's see this play one more time.
It was a nice entry pass, but that elbow caught Alabanza on the way up for the shot.
Val City yet to score. Salim gets it to Alabanza. No handoff. Muntik nang masunundan. Alabanza forces one up. One and done by Val City. Sandagon sa bandang itaas. Binigay kay Diego Dario. Bubukol sa tres. Mintisyon. Nakuha ni Alabanza yung rebound. Formento. Trying to escape Diego Dario. Now it's Alabanza. Inside. Back out to Jan Formento. Shot clock winding down. 9 seconds remaining. Another steal by the Quezon Huskers. Dario pulls it back out to Judel Fuentes. Puts the ball on the deck against Hesalem. Judel. Now Sarao offering that pick. Sarao receives it. Oh! Frees himself up for the layup.
I got the defense caught off guard with that fake. Everybody thought that he might have made that pass to Diego Dario. Dario was also wide open on the left wing, but managed to find himself wide open without any defense in front of him for that lay-in.
6-0 start for Quezon.
Yeah, a lot of hands there by Diego Dario as he tried to stop John Formento. Definitely a foul. Formento, we already mentioned, will not have a lot of help in the backcourt, particularly in this game. But see, there are a lot of swiping by Diego Dario on that shot attempt by John Formento. Formento, aside from having to try and score and facilitate in this game, he will have to do that in a manner where he has to pace himself.
And he really struggled in the first half against Rizal. But still managed to put up a decent outing. Pagaran, good looking stroke.
One dribble pull-up, that mid-range game, still a rare art here, especially in the MPBL.
8-3 is the count. Formento, the swing pass to Ongteco. JR, oh, momentarily escaping, but that layup too strong. Dario on the left side. Sarao onto the front court, bouncing it to Pagaran. But that pass a bit off target. Turnover against the Huskers.
The right intention in mind as he was trapped there on that pass.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet. Ito sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game. Win 1xBet.
Dalawa yung kumagat sa fake doon ni JP Sarao, kaya wala nang naiwan to try and block the shot.
Kobe Monhe. Malakas din yung kanyang tira doon sa ilalim.
Also a tough take. That angle, not really one that you could work with.
He's a guy, as you see Jodel Fuentes knock down a long two as well. Kobe Monhe, a guy that could help Val City in terms of pretty much everything. But Quezon Huskers having their way. Jodel Fuentes putting the moves on. Foot on the line. Shot over Hesalem. And the Quezon Huskers with an early lead over Val City. With 6 minutes and 2 seconds remaining, they have a 7-point lead.
Pahinga muna ang ilan sa mga stars ng Quezon Huskers, pero para kay Coach Eric, hindi ito dahilan para mawala ang tapang at teamwork ng kanyang koponan. In an earlier catching up, he confirmed na hindi makakalaro si Nagdabanal Alvin Abundo, pero hindi daw ito dahilan para mas mabuo pa ang kumpiyansa nila. And they've been working out a lot on playing more aggressively and defensively dahil ayaw daw niya maging passive ang team. Kahit na may mga injuries, proud pa rin si Coach Eric sa chemistry na na-form ng kanyang players. And of course, kahit na kulang sa pyesa, hindi naman kulang sa puso ang Quezon Huskers, and they're here to prove just that. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Lyra. Those aforementioned guys, Alvin Abundo, also binanggit na nga rin natin kanina at the top of the coverage, LJ Gonzalez, not in uniform. But, you know, the continuity of what they have is to see Diego Dario stop on a dime and score.
And that's a guy who's always going to be ready when his number is called up. A proven veteran in the PBA, has already won a championship with Meralco, taking his talents here to the Quezon Huskers. He's going to be a vital part as Quezon tries to get their first national championship here in the MPBL. Look at this move. Quick rip through, going to the baseline, got the contact, and still was able to square up for that jumper.
Definitely wasn't easy from Diego Dario. Impressive take. Alapanza able to score on a putback.
He wanted a foul, but J.R. Alabanza this season has really taken his game to the next level.
This time, it's a free. Hand in his face, Judel Fuentes.
But that guy has always been next level. Ever since the first time we've seen him here in the MPBL, he has been a bona fide superstar.
Santagon, strong drive. Salem could not believe the call. He thought it was all ball as he challenged that shot. But this was a free by Fuentes. 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
You can see that Jesalem was able to challenge that shot. He had a hand up there. But if you're JJ, you're going up against Judel Fuentes, you've got to pick him up as soon as he crosses half court because this guy's range is unlimited and he only needs so little space to get a decent shot off.
Sablay unang free throw ni Simon Sandagon. Sablay din yung pangalawa. Bola babalik sa panig ng Val City. 4:40 left in the first. RJ Minerva comes in. For Val City, Lester Alvarez. Had a big first half against Rizal.
He practically kept Valenzuela in that game during that first 2 quarters.
Monhe in trouble. Kyle Napes kakapasok lang din for Val City. Alvarez against Dario. Kyle Napes. Nesalem. Walang pag-aaninlangan. Sablay ang kanyang tira sa labas. Diego Dario, the right side of the floor. Probing, sending it to Simon Sandagon. Turns the corner, floats one up, but doesn't get the roll. 15-5 still. Alvarez. Whips a pass to Salem. The flyby, the shot just inside the arc. Still no go.
That's an open look, something that he has to be able to make 9 times out of 10. Ito si JJ Jesalem.
Kyle Napes caught out of position. Sandagon took it strong to the basket. Kim Lo comes in. And Topeng Lagrama and Josh Hierro. Third and fourth attempts from the line for Simon and Sandagon. Sablay kanyang dalawang free throw kanina. All net this time. Has played his whole career with Quezon. The LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Umalog, palabas yung pangalawa.
But his growth has been outstanding. Ito si Simon Sandagon. His game has improved by leaps and bounds. From the time that he started to now, you could see a lot of improvement. The way that he's making decisions on the floor, the way that he's been dealing with the physicality of the other big men here in the league, and that how he's been able to absorb it and play through it.
Also provided a good screen for Jodel Fuentes, forcing that foul.
And of course, also aside from the things that I mentioned, he's provided us with a number of highlight plays in this league.
Parang siya yung may pinakamaraming two-handed slam dunks.
Yeah, I think so.
Easily.
Guy could really jump out of the gym.
This guy could really shoot, but that time a miss. Minerva. A lot of fouls given up by Val City.
That's why Quezon is so tough to stop defensively. It's because they're just willing to give up that basketball to the next guy who's wide open. They are well aware of what they want to do on the floor. The jobs, the roles rather, are very clear to them. Everybody understands what they want to do when they're inside the court. When Quezon is humming like a machine on the hardwood, it's very tough to stop them.
Fuentes, pasok yung kanya unang free throw. Has had a slow start in the season but has certainly picked it up. 2 for 2 at the line. will be replaced by Francis Tamsi.
You know, Jodel Fuentes, the first time he played here in the MPBL, already spectacular, but I'm sure after that first season, he had a target on his back that other teams really tried to go after. They tried to scout him, try to identify where he would be most weak at. But constantly, what's been most impressive about him is he's been able to prove to us that despite the many defensive schemes that teams throw at him, he still proves to us that he can score that basketball.
2 out of 13 lang ang Val City Magic on the field. Make that 2 of 14 after that miss. But they get the ball back. Napes in trouble. The drop. Mabigat under the rest. Able to get that shot up and in.
A lucky break there for Valenzuela. Good thing that Napes had the presence of mind to drop it off to Mel Mabigat as he was trying to go up for a shot himself.
The slide by Magbuhos. Libre si Tamsi. 3-point shot, no. Magbuhos grabs the offensive board. Wawa, laban kay Kimlo. Hierro. Trying to get past Kimlo, an underrated defender. And that's why he was forced into that turnover. Alvarez gets it to John Umali. Mabigat. This time from free. Off to the left. Lagrama. The switch. Umali trying to keep in step with him. Lagrama likes this matchup. Topping. Putting it on the deck. Oh, that's just too easy for Topping Lagrama.
I was already going to say another nice defensive stand there for Valenzuela. I think in this game, Quezon has been more dangerous when they're moving that ball around quickly. But when they try to pull that ball on the floor for an extended period of time, mas nakakaset yung depensa ng Valenzuela. Mas nababasa nila kung saan makakapunta ang Huskers.
One and done by Val City. Lagrama! That would have been a highlight. But instead, it turns the ball over.
Yeah, just not when they're putting the ball on the floor in transition. Quezon always dangerous, especially when it's this guy leading the break.
47 seconds remaining. John Umali likes this building.
Very much.
Now he's up against Magbuhos. Puts up a free. But hit nothing there. Bola babalik sa panig ng Quezon.
He is indeed very familiar with the ins and outs of our venue for tonight. He's played here his whole collegiate career.
About a 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Still time here for Quezon. May tulak sa ilalim. Laban sa Quezon. Both teams in penalty.
Huling-huli doon si RJ Minerva.
Yeah.
At aminado naman siya doon sa kanyang foul. But you see the defense of Valenzuela, it's been improving the past few possessions. Hindi lang talaga sila makakuha ng mga dissenting shots in their half court. Because Quezon has also locked down Valenzuela themselves on that side of the basketball.
Kimlo. Good on the first free throw. Coach Raymond Valenzuela. That one rolls out. Quezon, chance here. Put on the finishing touches here in the first quarter. Instead, Val City gets it back, but Alvarez unable to escape the defense of the Huskers. First quarter comes to an end. And the Quezon Huskers putting on a masterclass on defense here in quarter number 1.
They have, but Valenzuela has also responded with incredible defense themselves in the past few possessions here as we ended the first quarter. Jan Formento, he has to have a terrific game today. We mentioned before how Jan Formento will be the one who will take Valenzuela to bigger heights. If he has a good game, Valenzuela has a good chance of winning it.
At the end of the first quarter, Quezon Huskers ahead over Val City 20-8. Next 3 games of the Quezon Huskers on the 24th against Ilagan, Isabela. On the 31st, they will travel to Pangued Abra and take on the Weavers. And on June 7, kontra Caloocan, Batang Kangkalu. Lahat bigatin para dito kay Coach Eric and the rest of the Huskers. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Tough stretch for Quezon after this game against Val City. That's really important, especially with their place in the team standings right now. They are neck and neck with Zamboanga, Muntinlupa, Inver.
And that stretch will give them sort of a barometer of where they are really at so far at this point of the season. Especially with that loss against Pampanga, you know, they want to see if they are really the team that they envision themselves to be.
Lagrama, easy pickings on the other side after getting a steal off that poor pass from Kyle Napes. Although out of position din yung kanyang papasahan doon. Mel Mabigat turns around, floats one up and in.
Just a crafty move by Mel Mabigat. Spinning through his strong side, even if it was a little deep down into the baseline, still managed to find a way to get that 2 points.
Josh Hierro knocks down a free.
Yeah, he's gonna hit that occasionally para sa Quezon. Much improved 3-point shooter the past few times.
Mabigat, John Umali, Kyle Napes, Kimlo, and Lester Alvarez. 5 on the floor. Napes for free, short. Hasn't found a stroke yet. Joshua Hierro pulls it back out. Jason Opiso, sablay yung kanyang tira at the elbow. Kimlo. Uphill battle for Val City early. 15-point advantage for Quezon. Alvarez laban kay Lagrama. Topeng, ginugulo siya. Pinunta ni Alvarez papunta kay Kim Lo, who strokes in a free.
That's what he was known for in college. Big 3-and-D player para sa UST in the UAAP. Incredible shot made there with a hand in his face.
What a play there, Lagrama. The slip of a screen by Vince Magbuhos for 2 points.
Right away nullifying that incredible shot that Kim Lo had for Valenzuela. Incredible setup on the execution of the 2-man game for Quezon.
Alvarez working with Kyle Napes. Binigay niya kay John Umali. Pupukol sa tres off the heel. Rebound ends up with Alvarez. Mabigat draws closer. Gets his second field goal to drop.
They left him wide open and Mabigat capitalizing right away.
Lagrama, Opiso, Magbuhos, Joshua Hierro, and Al Tamsi ang 5 para dito sa Quezon. Josh Hierro, all net on that second 3-pointer.
Well, I think he might have felt bad na tinirahan siya ni Kim Lo. You know, harap-harapan yun eh. And he said, you know what, I can also do that. Already hit a 3-point shot earlier. Let me give you another one.
Napes against Opiso. Another turnover. Lagrama unable to get to his layup.
Swerte ang Valenzuela doon na nabitawan rin ni Topeng Lagrama ang bola.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
In absentia ang help rotation defense ng Valenzuela. on that two-man game for the Huskers.
Alabanza back in, Onteco as well. JR runs into traffic. Foul will be called against Quezon. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
That time, that was easy pickings para kay Topeng Lagrama.
Baseline inbound, napunta kay JR, laban kay Joseph Cabaini.
Ooh, that's off his foot.
Nothing seems to be clicking at the moment for Val City. They've lost their last 4 games. Dapanal, Will Gozum.
Nearing his return this season.
That's something to look out for if you're Quezon.
Especially how he fits into things now with guys like Gabaini in the lineup and JP Sarao.
Nakabalog. Tossing foul. And it's Eman Tagle. 4 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Jan Formento comes back in for Lester Alvarez.
This was the 3-point shot that Law hit earlier against Joshua Yero. But after that, Yero managed to get the 3-point shot himself on that opposite corner. So both guys going at it. Both very impressive defenders, but also 2 guys who could shoot the basketball from beyond the arc.
That one rattles in for Mike. But still, Val City finding themselves in trouble, down by 14, 30-16. We'll pause for a break. Ian Martel is in attendance. And his former team will play later on, Parañaque. Of course, Attorney Don Capunan, always supporting the Quezon Huskers. Nakasalukuyan lamang dito ng 14 na puntos, 30-16 over the Val City Magic. Jason Opiso with Joseph Gabaini, Diego Dario, also Eman Tagle in there. Diego gets it to Joseph Gabaini, who scores.
Simple drive and kick there para sa Quezon. Valenzuela failing to cover the open guy that was Joseph Gabaini.
Caballo having trouble with the pesky defense of Eman Tagle. Kobe Monje peeks at the clock. 3 seconds left. Monje to Macabalog. Onteco. I think it will not count.
Definitely. Well after the buzzer.
Offense being a problem again for Val City.
That ball barely made it to the right side of the court. Took too long in Macabalog's hands, and when he gave it up the second time, 3 seconds na lang natitira para kay Onteco na gumawa ng paraan para makashoot.
Quezon getting another possession here. Gabaini peeks at the clock, facing up. Jumper on its way, no. Formento the rebound. Formento using that Alabanza screen. Jan gets blocked by Eman Tagle. Dario goes right at Macabalog, but Gabaini there to clean it up.
If you're Valenzuela and you're trying to defend the fast break, good that you've been able to force a miss But the other guys going back down, in that case, Ongteko and Kobe Monhe, they should have blocked out Kabaini, who was trailing the play for that offensive rebound.
The Quezon Huskers extend their lead to 18, 34 to 16. These are the next 3 games for the Val City Magic. May 26 against San Juan. June 2 against Quezon City. Galleries Taipan on the 6th. They will take on Pasig City. And Val City lagging behind in the North Division. 3-8 record. They lost their last 4 games.
They're tied with QC at that 11th and 12th spot.
They actually had a promising start to this season.
And they have a promising team.
Yeah.
Now, Louis Vigil is not anymore with him, and guys have suffered a lot of injuries that had their roster see an incomplete number of players when they go up against teams in their games. Kaya talaga nahihirapan sila. And for the most part, it's really been most of the time, improvisation, especially offensively para dito sa Valenzuela. And that's why they've been so easy to defend. It's because they've been so predictable.
And they also haven't thrived in transition. They're one of the worst teams in terms of scoring into the fast break.
Just absolutely no way for them to get more points in that department if they don't try to shore up their lineup with faster guards. With this current crop of players, there's no way that the fast break points will increase for Valenzuela.
Turnover again against the Magic. 34-18 pa rin ang ating talaan. Opiso gets a breather. Christian Pagaran in. Sandagon, nasa loob na rin. JP Sarao and Jodel Fuentes. Sandagon! Alabanza fought, he got it clean. They will challenge this one. No.
One of the leading shot blockers in the league, JR Alabanza, making a gallant effort to try and block. Oh, yeah, that looked clean up top. Pero mukhang may contact kasi sa baba, sa body.
Maibalita muna tayo kay Miss Lyra Punsalan.
Para kay Simon Sandagon ng Quezon Huskers, hindi porket natalo sila ng Pampanga ay ibig sabihin nun yun na ang sukatan ng team nila. Ang pagkatalo hindi ma-define ang character namin, kwento niya. At mas mahalaga daw kung paano sila bumawi after. And after that loss, todo bawi nga sila sa training, focus sa depensa at mas agresibo ang approach nila. Alam namin doon kami kinapos, so in-adjust talaga namin yung energy at mindset namin sa depensa. Ngayon, mas gigil sila at mas buo at mas ready na ipakita ng Huskers, hindi basta sumusuko, lalo na't mahaba pa ang season. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And they will encounter those sort of challenges from Quezon. As you see, Lester Alvarez, sorry, that was John Formento setting up Kobe Monhe inside.
It was Lester Alvarez who picked up the steal. And then Formento recognizing Kobe Monhe, cutting towards that left side of the basket. Good recognition para kay John Formento.
Sarao slips, but can't get the layup to go. And he commits a foul.
And that's a foul that they can afford to give if they're Quezon.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Well, we mentioned the lack of transition play here for Valenzuela. Interestingly enough, after we've said that the fast break points total might not anymore increase for them with this current crop of players, they've been able to generate points off of the transition attack their past couple of plays.
Monhe po poste, ilalabas kay Castillo. Way short on that shot.
And that's why that foul from JP Sarao, I thought, was a good foul and a foul that they could afford to give because that stopped the basketball, that stopped the play, preventing Valenzuela from getting another one on the run.
Tatakbo muli ang mga nakapula. Formento has yet to score. What has been dishing out. Castillo inside. Could not finish, but Alabanza there for the stick back. Val City making the run.
See how much attention John Formento got there. Went and dribbled that ball into their front court. Look how much defense he drew, and everybody was really just watching him the whole time. Castillo couldn't finish, but Alabanza there cleaning up that mess. Valenzuela is within 12.
36-24 will return after the short break. Happy to have you here at the Olivares College Gymnasium. And silipin natin ang ating Gixxer fan of the game, Born for Greatness. Enjoying the action here sa laban ng Quezon at Val City. Later on, it's Pasig City squaring off against the Parañaque Patriots. We wind down here in the second frame. Quezon Huskers still up by a dozen. Fuentes could not convert on that mid-range jumper. One and done. Bola babalik sa Val City.
You find yourselves on the opposite side of a scoring run. Quezon goes to their best perimeter player in Judel Fuentes, however, unable to knock down a shot despite it being an open look.
Formento lost it. Quezon on the run. Fuentes naitapik papunta kay Diego Dario. Great bounce pass inside to Vince Magbuhos.
You see how important the look of the eyes is when you're a point guard, especially going down into traffic. You could fool everybody just by looking somewhere else, and you could deliver that pass the other side.
Pull-up free is good for John Formento.
This guy is definitely a huge talent here in this league.
Bounce pass na naman. Oh, Alabanza with a hard fall. He is rolling down in pain as he bit on the pump fake of RJ Minerva.
Another nice delivery by Diego Dario. Pocket pass there to RJ Minerva. Yun, oh. Na-break yung fall niya by getting Minerva through his backside.
I think yung kamay niya yung hinahawakan niya ngayon eh.
O yun nata yung pinang-brace niya kasi. Or I think it's the side eh, yung hip.
Yung hip din. But from the looks of it, doesn't seem too bad. Because although he's still down, but yung demeanor niya looks like it's getting into the positive direction. Although he's still taking his time.
And papalitan niya siya dito. It's going to be a mandatory sub, and I think Napes is the one coming in.
So it's the hip that he's favoring as he heads back to the bench. And he is an integral part of what they're trying to do here. Coach Raymond Valenzuela, obviously a look of concern, as well as the people here. Kyle Napes will replace him for the last 23 seconds of quarter number 2. Yep, because it was in the act.
Yeah, it should be 2 free throws.
Because Natungan si Alabanza a bit on the pump fake as Minerva was getting ready to shoot. So RJ Minerva at the line. Also a long-time Quezon Husker. Played in National University in high school and college. Was teammates with guys like Carl Tamayo, Kevin Kiambao, Terence Fortea. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Nailing the second free throw. 39-27. Val City has a chance to end this quarter on a high note. Castillo, balik kay Alvarez. Formento. 10 seconds remaining here against Tamsi. Al Tamsi gives up the foul.
Last foul to give for Quezon.
7 seconds remaining. Enough time to get a quality look if you're Val City.
But if you're Quezon, you know who this ball going to.
Kyle Napes. Going to Alvarez. Napes. Swing pass. Formento. Long two-pointer. Just to beat the buzzer.
Love that play. That last possession for Valenzuela. They didn't force it onto John Formento. Good denial by the Huskers, keeping him from getting the inbounds play. But Napes making the right decision, giving it up to Lester Alvarez, who saw that Formento was left wide open. There you go. Formento open for that outside shot. So it was Alvarez and then Napes getting it to John Formento.
Put on the line for John Formento, but nonetheless, they end the half. They just trail by 10, 39-29.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya's. That is the most spectacular one-punch set of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way over and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he backs the straight left hand. And there's the punching now. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Here's our halftime score. Quezon Huskers 39, Val City 29, 10-point lead for the Huskers. And this was the first two quarters wherein Quezon had a good start and had an 18-point lead. Val City never led in this one, Javi, and they really had a hard time putting the ball in the hoop.
But they were able to outscore Quezon 21-19 in that second quarter. The defense improved and the offense was able to pick up para sa Valenzuela, especially in that last possession where they were able to move the ball around and still find its way to their leading scorer, John Formento. If John Formento has a good game today wherein he scores 15 to 20 points and the other guy, and there are 2 or 3 more guys who can backstop him with 10 or more, then Valenzuela just might be in this.
And he had that big shot to end the quarter para dito sa Val City Magic. While Quezon, a lot of heroes to this one, playing without LJ Gonzalez, Alvin Abundo today. But the other guys have picked up the slack. Judel Fuentes in particular leading the way with 7 points. Josh Yero hit 2 frees, 6 points. Sandago with 5, JP Sara with 4. Balance scoring para dito sa Quezon. And for Val City, of course, John Formento, as usual, leading the way with 8. Mel Mabigat with 6 points as well.
It's a usual scenario for the Huskers. Usually, the scoring very spread out evenly.
Only 2 guys actually averaging in double figures this season for Quezon as they share the wealth.
They had 12 assists in that first quarter, one of the top teams in terms of sharing the basketball this season, itong Quezon.
And for Val City, obviously the concern is the health of Jer Alabanza. He's not starting this quarter. Sarao cashes in on the first free throw.
I don't see him on the bench.
Then nandun siya, nakayuko lang.
Okay.
I think katabi niya si Mel Mabigat. 2 for 2 at the line for JP Sarao. Just tuned in. Jer Alabanza had a hard fall late in quarter number 2 after he bit under the pump fake of RJ Minerva.
Coach Raymond Valenzuela is once again going with this 5 that's headed by Lester Alvarez to start this second half. But just with a little tweak, Kyle Napes, of course, the big man in that position of J.R. Alabanza here in the third quarter.
So John Formento not starting the third either for Val City. 12-point lead for Quezon. Sarao, laban kay Napes. Diego Dario. Swings it to Judel Fuentes. Lalapit. That one-hander does not drop for Judel. Alvarez onto the front court. Gets it to Kyle Napes. Asking Monje to post up. Monje against Pagaran. Kobe. Spins. Pagaran standing his ground. That pass a bit too strong for Diego Dario to handle.
Should have been an overhead pass instead of a bounce pass. Now that's always a tough decision to make when you're in transition. Pero pinapractice na talaga yan eh. Yan dating tinuturo sa amin nung high school coach namin na si Mike Oliver. Kailangan palobo yung pasa when you're moving it forward.
Good stint for Diego Dario to begin the third. Lagrama is in for Quezon. Lester Alvarez, 4 seconds on their shot clock. Hesalem trying to bail them out. Pagaran with a running start, getting the rebound. Fuentes. Sandagon kicks it back outside. Sarao open free, does not work. Rebound controlled by Jerome Teco. Hesalem. Now to Alvarez. The offense has a bit stalled here. Val City, in fact, has yet to get a field goal here in the third. Ongteco with 3 seconds on their shot clock. Hesalem puts one up, floats it up and in.
Well, they go deep well into their offense with the shot clock winding down once again. They've been in a lot of late shot clock situations in this game, but I think it's been something that they have been trying to do just to try and stick with a particular system. Kaya lang, maganda rin na naging sagot dito ng Quezon. Christian Pagaran has had some quality shots in this game.
That was a great pass. Sarao able to slip. Monhe falls down on the floor. Foul will be called against Christian. This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And Sarao has been the recipient of a lot of good passes from his teammates. That's why Quezon has been successful this season in most games because of the chemistry that they've been able to build with these new players of theirs.
Line drive by Fuentes. That's a 3-point shot from Judel.
Yeah, he might start missing a bunch of shots, but you can't expect him to stop trying to go for shots himself.
Lead has swelled up to 15 once again. Ongteco puts it on the deck. Goes right at JP Sarao. 2 free throws coming up for JR. They're doing this without JR Alabanza, Jan Formento.
You see here the early work made by Simon Sandagon that may put some attention on the defense of Valenzuela, and that's why wala masyado nakapansin dun kay Judel Fuentes, who was trailing the play.
Let's check in with Miss Lyra Bunsalan.
It was kind of nerve-wracking earlier during the court when JR Alabanza of Varsity Magic took a hard fall sa kanyang kanang balakang late in the first half. Agad siyang tinulungan and of course nila sa bench for assessment. But good news, makakabalik daw siya sa second half. Medyo masakit nung una pero okay na at kaya na daw niya ulit. Kitang-kita ang grit at dedication niya para sa team. Sa huddle naman ramdamang urgency mula sa coaching staff. Words such as hindi ito training, ibigay niyo ang best niyo and keep them all moving. With JR ready to suit back up and the coaching staff firing up the squad, asahan natin ang mas intense sa Varsity sa second half. Back to you guys.
That's a welcome development. Maraming salamat, Lyra, on that report. Your Alabanza certainly needed here, as Kyle Napes could not convert on that hook shot. Foul against Quezon though, so bola babalik sa Val City Magic.
Well, nakikita mo naman na talagang tinatry talaga ng Valenzuela na ikutin yung bola, but Quezon's done a nice job of really staying in front defensively. They're moving their feet and they're anticipating almost everything that Valenzuela has been wanting to do in the half court.
Almost all season long, the Quezon Huskers have been the top defensive team in the league. Jer Ongteco though, able to escape the defense. He'll get 2 more shots at the line. Quezon Huskers only giving up an average of 65.8 points. And we already have a good sample size with all of the teams having a lot of games already under their belt.
And if there's one thing that Valenzuela needs to do in their offense, it's really to try and get Quezon caught up in just one mistake.
LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Which is usually very tough to do, but that is the goal para sa Valenzuela. And how to do that, you have to move that basketball. There is no other way to try and get the defense to commit a mistake except to move that basketball in a crisp and quick fashion.
Now it's Quezon trying to move the rock from east to west. Now Lagrama gets it. Fuentes. Last second dish to Jason Opiso.
Just exactly how the Huskers have done it almost the entire season. One of the best teams in terms of sharing the basketball, averaging almost 25 times per contest this year.
Ongteco receives the pass from Hisalem. Fragmento, Alabanza, and Castillo about to check in at the next whistle. Hisalem having trouble and he turns the ball over.
It's these lulls in their offense that have prevented them from getting quality shots.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Eh kung mapapansin nyo yung opensa sa half court ng Quezon, halos di tumatagal sa isang tao yung bola for more than maybe 3-4 seconds. But for Valenzuela, in this game, there have been numerous times where they make a kick out and then somebody just tries to dribble away the time for as much as they can and then give it up. Pero di nila napapansin, 3 seconds na lang natitira, 2 seconds, kaya minamadali nila yung mga tira nila.
Piso wresting the ball away, giving them another crack at it. Fuentes. Skip pass to Vince Magbuho. Shot clock winding down. Joshua Yero. High arcing free. All net.
Medyo mabagal, actually mabagal talaga yung backspin ng bola niya, no? Pero yung arco just really allows a higher percentage of conversion.
Has really found the stroke today, Joshua Yero. 3-point shot. Atid sa atin ng Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Already 3 3-point shots in the game para kay Joshua Yero. All of them quality looks. He hasn't missed from the outside tonight.
John Formento at the line. Their leading scorer. Actually one of the top 5 scorers in our league today. Has already 6 games of 20 points or more. In fact, in their last game against Rizal, he had a total of 20 as well. All of those coming in the second half para dito kay John Formento.
But look how much shots he needed in that game. He had 23 attempts but was only able to convert on 8 of them.
How about Al Tamsi burning a free from the left corner? Re-establishing their biggest lead at 18 points.
And the 3-point shot has been one of the biggest weapons of the Huskers this season.
We'll return after this short break. Al Tamsi, laban sa Pampanga, 14 points, 12 of those coming in the second half. And prior to this game, he was only averaging 2.3 points in his previous 3 games. So he was really struggling, but he was able to come back against the Giant Lanterns, although that still resulted into a loss. But here the 3-point shooting, nakikita natin for Quezon, 50% on 6 conversions.
Quezon is among 7 teams who average 9 or more makes from the outside this season. Although the percentage is not really that good, only averaging below 27%. But still, you know, that number of attempts just helps them bring more variation to their game. Kaya nakikita mo, iba't iba yung nagiging atake nila. Minsan it's per quarter, sometimes it's per half. The strategy just continues to evolve para sa kanila. That's why other teams have it difficult trying to guard them.
And those percentages usually come a little bit up as the season progresses. So that's a good sign if you're the Quezon Huskers.
And 9 3-point makes per game, Ken, mataas yan.
Yeah. Especially with, they have guys that could stretch the floor, like Magbuhos in there. This guy certainly could stretch the floor, but that long free does not work.
One of their best 3-point shooters, not just by percentage but by reputation as well.
Under 3 minutes to go, Formento. Let's see if he can find his stride here in the third. Dangerous pass. Alvarez peeks at the clock, 7 seconds left. Formento puts one up. Well short. Kim Lo caught with a push.
Quite obvious.
Medyo late whistle eh. Akala niya nakakaisa na siya eh.
And in that possession, once again, Valenzuela had that ball stuck on top, not really making its way inside the shaded area or onto the sides.
Oh, great play. Joshua Hierro freeing himself up underneath. Lead back to 18. Lester Alvarez up top against Diego Dario. Nothing really happening so far in their offense. Kimlo. Castillo, short stab, good.
Something's bound to happen when you're Valenzuela if you really try and attack the defense. Most times they're just very passive on top, just passing the ball around, ping-ponging it to each other.
Alabanza, magbuhos. Having some words. That was a strong shove from Jer Alabanza. Here it is. Yeah.
Something must have happened
Yes.
before this.
Alabanza, the veteran, against the young Vince Magbuhos. Just a regular foul. But he's lucky not to be called for anything like a technical because that's his fourth foul.
Yeah. Well, I don't think a technical should have been given. Maybe a warning at best.
Oo, warning pwede.
Wasn't really much damage done.
Diego Dario. Binigay kay Altamsi. Jason Opiso is sweet spot.
Can't get him wide open looks on those two elbows.
Well, sa shot chart, talagang dyan siya namumugo. Ito si Jason Opiso.
Yeah, you know, he's a specialist. There are some players who will try and just do it all for you, but guys like Jason Opiso, yan ang mga player na bibigyan mo ng bola, alam mo na kung saan sila bibigyan ng bola, and they're gonna deliver for you no matter what.
And a great offensive rebounder as well. Oh, si Gabayni. Ito naman yung specialty ni Joseph.
Yes. And with Jer Alabanza on that bench, it's gonna be tough for Napes and Ongteco to try and stop a guy like Joseph Gabayni. See here, easy seal para kay Gabayni, one-on-one, simple hook shot. Didn't even really have to try too much in carving out space for himself there. Just went up and went for that shot.
John Formento, pasok yung kanyang unang free throw. Trying to will Val City to a win. Special deal from OneXpet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer.
That's been his quest practically the whole season long, is to help his team by carrying it on his back. Game in, game out.
Piso-piso lang para kay Jason.
See, wide open, hand in the face, halos di nagbabago yung tira eh.
Balik sa 18 lamang. 20 seconds to go. About a 4-second differential between game and shot clock. Castillo. So far, parang walang mapupuntahan itong opensa ng Val City. But Formento trying to make something out of nothing. That one does not work. That pass too strong for Tamsi. A second remaining here. But Quezon just pushing the right buttons. Third quarter comes to a close. The Huskers trying to bounce back from that tough defeat in Lucena. Val City in the midst of a 4-game losing skid, but the Huskers having their way. Highlights of the game brought to you by Zip Plus. the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Quezon really came out with good offense to start the third quarter. Christian Pagaran had a couple of plays that he had his imprints on, while Judel Fuentes, this guy hasn't seen a shot that he doesn't like, but also dishing out to his teammates. Jason Opiso had a very nice third quarter for himself, also sharing that rock with the other guys. Joshua Hierro has had an impressive game all throughout.
After 3 quarters, the Quezon Huskers lording it over the Val City Magic with a 62-44 advantage. Nandito pa rin po tayo sa loob ng Olivares College Gymnasium. Sa ating titignan ng ating fan of the game, atid sa atin yan ng LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Mamaya po, Pasig City, Parañaque in our main game. Happy to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanya. And at courtside, we have Miss Lyra Punsalan. Quezon running for their 9th win, while Val City having trouble so far dealing with this pesky and relentless defense of the Huskers, as evident in the quarter scoring. Although Val City had a 21-19 quarter, pero itong Quezon nakabawi in the third, 23-15. Formento though, trying to change their fortunes, starting this quarter out with a 3-pointer.
That's definitely a good sign, because we thought, after Lyra reported the type of message that was delivered to Valenzuela's players in the dugout during the halftime break, we thought that we were going to see an even better Valenzuela squad. They were already picking up their bearings in the second quarter, but the third quarter, we saw a couple of plays wherein they were able to get good looks. Kaya lang yung depensa nila wasn't as good as it was in the second quarter, and the Huskers just really pounced on the opportunity to outscore them in that third period.
Val City playing a bit smaller here with Napes, Ongteco, Jesalem, Lester Alvarez, and John Formento. Opiso gets blocked. Good timing on that swat by Jer Ongteco. Formento.
It's so hard for them to try and get something going in transition, because you see them get the stop, the loose ball goes to them, Formento's taking control of it, but there's nobody ahead of him.
Yeah.
Except for JJ Jesalem, who was already covered by Christian Pagaran.
Val City, number 28 in terms of fast break points, only averaging 10.6 points in that department. Pati points of turnovers, only 9.6. Second to the last. Formento really had to carry the scoring burden para dito sa Val City.
17 of the 49 points of Valenzuela belonging to John Formento. And no other guy in double figures except for him.
Babayni kick out. Christian Pagaran, short. Napes tracks it down. Good stop by Val City.
But if you're Quezon, you're lucky to have a guy like Pagaran coming off the bench to provide even more variation offensively. Now you have a guy who's able to hit that mid-range shot off the bounce.
Magsak si Ongteco as he went straight to the cup. Third foul on Gabayni. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Flipping it up and in over the defense. Just smart move right there on the attempt by Formento, recognizing that there was defense coming to him and that he had to put that shot well above those two defenders.
JR, all net on the first free throw. 62-50 is the count. Jerome Teco shooting really decently from 3 this season. north of 40%, 62-51 as he knocked down both free throws. Judel Fuentes gets it inside. Kakapasok lang. JP Sarao. No. Ball will stay with the Quezon Huskers.
It seems that Quezon is always a step ahead of Valenzuela in this game. The Magic having a tough time trying to anticipate what it is Quezon wants to do in the half court. That time though, that was good anticipation for Valenzuela.
Alvarez is now playing at that point guard spot. Formento is now off the ball. Now he gets that pass. Laban kay Judel Fuentes. Onteco offering that screen. He pops out. He receives the pass. Extra feed. Ooh, Onteco called for that offensive foul.
It's a tough call, especially that you're trying to trim away at this deficit. This is a very manageable lead to get back from, but you want to avoid those kinds of mistakes. If you're Valenzuela, you force a good defensive stop, you have the opportunity to score. Those mistakes just effectively cuts down the momentum that you're already building.
Sarao, susugod, natapik. Humingi ng foul. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Quezon. 4 na segundo lang nalalabi sa kanila shot clock. Alabanza comes back in for Kyle Navis. Sarao. Quick pass back to Judel Fuentes, leaning right but able to drill that one home.
It's just crazy how he's able to do it. Formento didn't try to put his hand up anymore because he might have had a foul against Fuentes, so he just chose to nasabayan dun sa talon. Fuentes just really recognizes those angles which the defense gives him.
Beautiful looking shot from Kobe Monhe.
Ooh.
Got locked up.
Yeah, that's
with
gonna be a
Simon
double
Sandagon.
foul.
Yeah.
That's the right call. Both players just locked in arms with each other. No use to call a foul again that will favor anybody. And Monhe, you know, if he develops this and hits it consistently, he's going to be an even better player for sure. I'd like to see that soon.
Yeah. Tough as nails, has good size as a wing player. Can play actually 3 spots, no? 2,
Yeah.
3, and 4.
Can even play the 5 if you want a fast unit.
Yeah. Won a championship with Letran
Yes.
under Coach Bonitan. Fuentes leaning in. Another stop by Valcini. So the Magic have been getting those crucial defensive possessions.
Pero dito talaga sila hirap na hirap sa opensa nila. If Formento cannot improvise para sa kanila, bihira sila makakuha within the flow.
Alabanza, the shimmy. Monhe. That had really nothing on that trip. Pagaran scoots up and lays it up and in.
That pass just right on the money. Saktong-sakto, kalkuladong-kalkulado, topping Lagrama with an impressive delivery in traffic.
Formento in traffic as well.
Oof.
Flips one up, almost went in.
The save for... Well, let's take a look at this first.
Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
You see how Lagrama was able to anticipate where Pagaran was going to be. That's how you make a forward pass in transition.
Let me fast break points. 12-1. 67-54 after that Formento make.
But you know, despite the errors and the mistakes that Valenzuela has made in this game, they've still managed to keep themselves within reach here. And there's still enough time for them to get their act together. Defensively, we've already been seeing it. It's just really more of a consistent effort offensively. They gotta get something within the flow and not just getting Lester Alvarez or Formento to create for them.
Joshua Yero. JP Sarao, naibigay kay Vince Magbuhos. Fuentes, right wing. Close pass, Formento.
That's blocked.
Oh, Jodel. It pops out though. Rebound, Jer Alabanza.
They shifted into a zone which enabled Fuentes to get that rebound off the gaps. A good thing hindi pumasok yung tira niya, in and out.
12-point cushion for the Huskers. Formento. Laban kay Jodel Fuentes. That one poked loose by Lagrama. Formento gives up a foul.
Another possession wherein they took too long to decide on what was really going to happen. And once they made that move, it was Formento who got it mid-post. That pass played well by the defense of Quezon.
Approaching 4 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Fuentes. The launch, and it results into a miss.
I also can understand why Valenzuela is not trying to run here. They're trying to catch up. They should try and get some baskets in transition.
Sobrang deliberate ng pace nila eh.
Yeah. This is the pace you should play if you are up right now. But you're trying to catch up to a lead. And the lead is not very small.
While Quezon, look at them go. But Barrio missing on that lefty layup attempt. Alabanza puts it on the deck in traffic. Gets it back. Gets fouled.
Talagang kinuyog siya ng depensa dun. Quezon has done a wonderful job of really converging on the guys who try to enter that shaded area.
We have a challenge from the Quezon Huskers. They're up by 12 here with 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. Alabanza about to take 2 free throws. But Coach Eric thinking otherwise about that last foul call. And we'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. There was no foul.
Sumakses si Coach Eric Gonzalez on that last challenge. Challenging this foul called last against, I think, Vince Magbuhos. And then this was
Against, yeah, I think it was Vince Magbuhos.
almost stay with Val City. Still enough time for the guys in red. Mounting comeback here.
They have to do it quick. They're still taking their sweet time.
Formento under the rest. Tough shot over the outstretched arms of Al Tamsi. Can't convert.
You see here, notice how Quezon has been running their offense. Literally not taking their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah. Nakita mo, mas sharp, mas crisp yung galaw. And samahan mo na, may konting swerte na rin.
And that keeps Joshua Yero perfect from the outside tonight. 4 out of 4 from three-point country. I thought that was going to be his first miss.
Eh, pati siya natawa after making the shot. And Joshua Yero having himself a ball game so far, knocking down his threes. And more importantly, putting Quezon ahead by 15, 70 to 55. Still here at the Olivares College Gymnasium in Parañaque City as we bring you the Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. But how about Judel Fuentes having himself again that only 6 attempts but making it count from the outside.
And of course, those 6 attempts, those 3 made shots from the outside, very timely because it always comes at the time when Valenzuela threatens to try and spark a rally. It's his presence is needed when shots need to be made. You could call upon his number. He doesn't need warming up. Hindi to parang diesel na kailangan magpainit pa sa sahig. You call his number up, gets on the floor, he's ready to take the shot anytime from anywhere.
And Judel Fuentes, actually in his first 4 games, only averaged 8.5 points but has really picked it up in the last 6, 13.3 points per contest. And again, talking about Val City, those possessions dying down to the last second. We have a timeout on the floor with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. We'll return after the short break. Nagbabalik po ang Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League as we have a special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. 2 minutes and 18 left in this one. Quezon trying to put on the finishing touches. Tario could certainly do that but he misses. Joshua Yero, swing pass, Tamsi. They go to Magbuos, back to Tamsi. That's an FEU connection right there. A free. Actually, Adamson to FEU connection.
Those two guys have been simply incredible from the outside tonight para sa Quezon Huskers, bringing them to their gamely average of 9 3-point makes in this game.
Magbuos gets it back. Opts not to take it. Joshua Yero, sasalaksak. Bounce pass na agaw. Muntikan na. Pero lalabas yan. Mananatiling bola sa panig ng Quezon.
He's been wide open for a time already there on that right corner to si Diego Dario. Hindi lang maibigay sa kanya ni Vince Magbuhos, and Yero tried to be the one to do it.
Tamsi inside. JP Sarao goes up strong for the finish. And that is probably the nail in the coffin.
Being undersized, it's really going to be hard for you. The odds are going to be against you in trying to succeed in this league, especially at the big man spot. But if you're a guy like JP Sarao who knows how to play with his body and deal with all the angles, talagang maganda ang magiging kalabasan ng laro mo dito sa MPBL.
Certainly for Quezon, this is a good win to bounce back. As we check out this Gixer, great move, the game born for greatness.
You see how he uses his body here to prevent Alamanza from trying to block his shot.
With this impending win by the Huskers, their next games against Ilagan, Isabela, and then Abra. And then on June 7, they will take on Caloocan. That's a gauntlet heavy for them.
For sure. And then this is a big confidence booster to prime themselves up for that tough stretch ahead of them.
Ilagan also had the morale-boosting victory of their own in that win over Bataan yesterday.
It's also been a tough schedule for them in this season, the Cowboys.
Although I think after that game, on the 24th. Mahaba yung break nila eh. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split type air conditioners.
Especially for the teams that were able to start the season ahead of the others, yung mga nakakuha ng maagang schedule. At this point, sa katapusan ng May, alam ko, those teams will get some long breaks.
Yun man, no? It balances
Yeah.
it out, no? Meron tayong mga teams like, say, Pasig,
Pasig.
Paranaque, nagsimula ng late.
Ito naman yung time nila na nakakuha sila ng tuloy-tuloy na games. Yung mga late nag-start.
Yan, Bacolod. 27 seconds remaining. This one pretty much academic. Val City, unfortunately, will suffer their 5th straight loss. And they have had flashes of brilliance. They even had that close overtime loss against Basilan, in which nakita natin Jan Formento. That was really the game that really turned heads here. As there's still time on the clock, but the ball on the floor already. Quezon winning this one out against Val City, 75-55. And the Huskers will improve to 9-2 after this win.
It's a statement win para sa Quezon, especially to prepare themselves for what's ahead of them. That very tough schedule that they are gonna have.
Best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And, you know, we could have given it to Judel Fuentes, but I think Joshua Yero deserved this in this game. He was off the bench, but was able to get these 4 3-point shots.
Joshua Yero having himself a ball game and helping the Quezon Huskers getting this big win over Val City. Our final score, 75-55. Quezon winning over Val City. Let's go to Lyra.
Joseph, congratulations. Napakaganda ng nilalaro mo tonight. During your last game against Pampanga, you only had 3 points. Pero ngayon, successful lahat ng 3-point shots mo. Anong biggest lesson mo from that game na binaon mo ngayong gabi?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat kami sa Panginoon kasi binigay niyong panalo sa amin. At the same time, yung mentality ko ngayon is mag-bounce back kami. And yun, binigay ko lang yung best ko para sa team. Yung role ko, makatulong sa team.
And speaking about bouncing back, mabibigat na ang mga susunod na laro niyo. Una sa Ilagan, sa inyong home court, and then Abra. Ano pa sa tingin mo yung kailangan gawin para masustain ang puso ng Quezon?
Siguro, focus lang, then start sa practices kasi ando naman lahat eh. Yung preparasyon nang galing sa practice.
May mga gusto ka bang pasalamatan? And of course, invite Quezonians to watch you guys on your home court game next Saturday.
Nagpapasalamat kami sa management, sa owners ng team, sila Governor, Dr. Helen Tan, si Kong Mike Tan, Doc Kim Tan, and si Boss RD, and si Mayor Ralph Lim. And shoutout din sa family ko, sa Ormoc, sa girlfriend ko, and sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa team namin, sa Huskers. And shoutout din sa anak ni Coach Ed na si Ray Shamari.
Maraming salamat, Joshua Yero of Quezon Huskers. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Up next, Paranaque will try to defend their home court. They will take on Pasig City here. Kaya manatiling nakasubaybay dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.